Hi, this is Peter Stanley. Welcome to my channel. I want to show you how to make a StanRacha spice blend. So I found some peppers that were in the freezer at work that I kind of forgotten about. I was going through and decided to keep these. I'm going to try to make a dehydrate them. This is from 2015. It's a large orange Thai. These have been frozen, but they're actually starting to thaw because I've had them moved them to the refrigerator. This is CGN 2800. So this is Mustard Moruga Scorpion. It's from 2017. It's a mild mystery yellow. It was really kind of a sweet flavor, not real hot. White Vitale. I'm going to roast them on the grill. I'm not going to smoke them. I'm just going to roast them in a pan, get some of the excess moisture out and give them a little bit of a roasted flavor. And then I'll put them in the dehydrator. And then I'm going to make a new batch of StanRacha powder. I'm going to call this Days Gone By blend of the StanRacha, since these are really old pods that have been preserved. I also put a link in the video on how to preserve peppers, and vacuum sealing and freezing is an excellent way because these are just as good as when I froze them. Getting all the air out is key. You can keep these indefinitely doing this method, and just want to demonstrate that these can be used even years after you have frozen them. If you don't vacuum seal them, it's hit or miss if they'll be good or not. Typically they'll get freezer burned or usually get some kind of freezer odor or flavor. So vacuum sealing is really important. So I should get a kind of a good mix of heat and flavor with these. So we'll get those started. Got my charcoal heated up. It's going to use an aluminum baking pan. Going to poke some holes in it. So what that does is it allows the juices to drip out and a little bit of more heat to come up through to the peppers. And put the pods in there next. Yeah, vacuum sealing is really good. I'll put a link to some other videos I've done on this, on how to vacuum seal these. This is a great method too if you want to make sauce. These would be perfect for sauce making. So these are all ready to go. I can kind of stir them up a little bit. I'm just going to let them sit, cover them up for a little while, stir them again, let them cook for a little bit longer, and then I'll put them on the dehydrator. Okay, let's take a peek. So they're looking. Give it a little stir. It's starting to get dark out here, so I'm trying to hurry. Some of these are over 4 years old and they still smell sweet and fresh. Alright, let it get a little bit longer and I'll go ahead and pull those off. It's been 45 minutes, I guess. Got them out here. So you really get charred. You probably got a lot of that excess moisture out. Still kind of wet. So what I'm going to do, I didn't mention this earlier. Since I poked holes in this, I need a solid pan to put these in. Else you're going to be dripping, and plus it's going to be really hot. So I just happen to have this turkey baster pan. Take it inside. Go. It's ready to go. I'll let these cool off a little bit and then I'll put them in the dehydrator. So I let this go about, I like to get mine really dry, so probably 2 days, day and a half. I use the Presto Dehydro. It's the ultra mega cheap dehydrator, but it works really well. They're only like $35–$40. I'll put a link in the description where I got mine. I've been using it for a long time. Anyway, so we let this go and then we'll come back when it's dry. Okay, so these are all done. There's 4 trays of these. Should be cracker dry, so That's how dry you want them for powder making or flakes or whatever. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is weigh this and then look at my recipe for ratios and then figure out how much ingredients I need to add. Okay, so these are all compressed down. I've got 182.4 grams peppers, and I'll show you my ratios. Batch 4, I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid per 10 grams peppers, 1.5 teaspoon of garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 teaspoon of sugar. That kind of approximates the Sriracha garlic and sweet, salty. You can see where I've tried different batches over time. I always make notes on changes I make and what I use for each batch. So what I'm going to do is just measure that out, and then we'll get this ground up. Okay, so these are the ingredients that I'm going to use. This just raw cane sugar, some sea salt, minced garlic, and this is the citric acid. You can get this at the health food store. This in particular is used for rinsing your sprouts. It's $4.99 for this bottle. It's used as an additive in a lot of foods, preservation and for flavor. So we'll go ahead and get these measured out and mixed in. So 27 teaspoons is 9 tablespoons. Garlic. It's basically this whole bottle, pretty much. 14 teaspoons of sugar. So sea salt, 9 teaspoons. Four and a half teaspoons of 4.5. Okay, so I'm using the, it's got Skinny Girl on the label, but it's really the Bella brand. It's like basically a smoothie maker, but it comes with a regular blade, but it also has a blade for dry foods. It's got a little jagged edge. So I always use this one for powders and stuff. And this is probably overfilled from recommended, but and these are really cheap. It comes with 2 of these plus a short one, and I've used it for making a lot of sauce and powders. I make smoothies with it almost every day. I've used it, let's see, going on 3 years now. I think it costs between $20 and $30 now. I'll put a link in the description on where you can buy one. You can make some noise here. I'm just going to pulse this and shake it and pulse it, shake it. So I don't want it to get super, super fine, which it'll get like microscopically fine. I ended up with what I was trying to avoid, which is a real powdery powder. Okay, so I just really needed to break it up into 2 containers. So you can see it's really fine, which is kind of what I was trying to avoid, but that's okay. So yeah, so I go ahead and just put this in my tubes, and I'll probably vacuum seal some of it to save it, what I can't use right away. Okay, so I was able to get 17 of these vials filled up. And then I had a bunch of extra that I put in this mason jar. And I'm going to show how to vacuum seal this using the food saver and jar sealer attachment. So these vials, I've been using these for years. They're really good and they're very cheap. And basically you just use a little metal funnel or any kind of funnel to spoon them in here. And they're really good to carry in your pocket or to give away as gifts. They're airtight, watertight. You just unscrew the lid and just tap out what you need. So they work very well. I buy the Carter Scientific brand. You can get a bag of 100. And price goes up and down, but it's usually around $15, give or take, for a bag of 100. So I use these a lot. So I'll give a bunch of these away, and I'll carry some around. So I want to show you how to use this jar sealer attachment. So what this is going to do is vacuum seal, suck all the air out, and it'll keep this powder preserved indefinitely until I'm ready to use it. So I'm going to fill up some more. Probably fill up about this many more vials with this much powder. So you just put your unused ball lid. And the sealer attachments, you can get wide mouth and regular mouth. I read that the wide mouth work better, so that's what I use. So just put that down on top. So I'm going to use the accessory on the food saver. Some of them are like a separate cord that plugs in. This is a one I just got. So it's actually the first time I've used this food saver. Other one's starting to have problems sealing. I've used it several years, and so I got a new one. So anyway, this plugs down in here, and then press accessory. Okay, pop this off. You have to take something really to pop this lid. It's on there. I mean, I'm holding it by the lid because of the vacuum. So you don't even really need to put a ring on it. You could just to be safe, you don't really need to. So I've had these stay sealed for years, and keeping the air out is key, just like with the ones you freeze. It's like, that's why I don't make up a whole, I mean, this is really more than I should have made for myself, but I'll give a lot of these away. But they'll actually stay good in these tubes. They may cake up a little bit because they're so fine. If they do, just, take something down in there, tap it a little bit, break it up a bit. It'll stay good. I've had these actually, I forgot I had them in my pocket, washed and dried them, and they didn't come out. They were still dry inside. So they're watertight, airtight. These are really good tubes for what they cost. But I'll put a link in the description where you can get these, and also food saver and the drawer sealer attachment I use. Yeah, so this is a ton left over. I can need to put some labels on all of these. Yeah, so this is just an example. You can do anything with this. Hope you like that. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.